you go through like a year or so of diving, year and a half
Mm-hmm.
of diving, then you make the decision like, okay, now I want to train for cave diving as well.
Yeah.
You know, how do you even train for that? Do they have a
tell
lot
you.
of these caves mapped out ahead of time? Or
I'll
what
tell
does
you.
it look like?
So I always said I was never going to be a cave diver. And the reason for that is the misconception that cave diving is always super tight, people squeezing through it, fighting their way through stuff. That is not like cave diving is. Some is.
Yeah.
There's some caves that are like that.
I heard about that Thai cave rescue, man.
Yeah. But the majority of caves are big. Like you can drive a bus through them. They're big, big, big caves. So I always said I'm not attracted to overhead environments. Like anything that has a roof over my head, like I'm not attracted to it. And when I started diving rebreathers in 2019, a lot of rebreather divers are cave divers. They go into cave diving. So a lot of my buddies were diving caves and they're like, dude, you should join us. You should become a cave diver. And I'm like, I'm not interested. And then they said kind of the magic words, which is, well, you don't start as a cave diver. You start as a cavern diver. So these big caverns that you can dive. But to become a cavern diver, you learn all the skills of cave diving without going into caves. So I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. I love learning. So that sounds cool. Like I would love to learn all those cave diving techniques without going into a cave. That sounds awesome. So I took the class. I got certified as a cavern diver. You have to have, I think, 25 hours or 25 dives, rebreather dives to qualify even for the training. So then I became a cavern diver and I started diving caverns and I'm like, this is pretty awesome. And I fell in love with the techniques. Like to me, my attraction to cave diving is not the caves. Some caves are very attractive. Like there's some caves in Abaco that are made of crystal. It's like the Fortress of Solitude from Superman. Like you go in there and it's just white walls with crystal. Is unbelievable. In the Bahamas. So some caves are attractive, but what attracts me to cave diving is the process, the preparing your gear, the briefing and looking at a map, planning your route. Like that process is what I love about cave diving. And the fact that you get to dive with other people that are more competent than you. Like that's what I like about cave diving. So anyway, I do my cavern diving. I do a bunch of that. And then they were like, well, why don't you do intro to cave? So the next level to become a cave diver is called intro to cave. And intro to cave, you go into caves, but you don't navigate away from the main guideline. So in caves, we have guidelines. And they're in Florida specifically, we call it the goal line. The line looks like this. I brought you a prop. So this is cave line. This is orange, but in caves is gold. In Florida caves is gold. And you can see how strong it is. So this is the main line of a cave. And so for intro to cave, you stay on the main line. You don't do any navigational decisions. You don't go in any side tunnels, side quests, or anything like that. Okay. We basically dive the guideline. You go into a cave for a few hundred feet. You come out of the cave. You don't go anywhere. Okay. And you do that a bunch of times. And then you can do your full cave training. And full cave training is when you can start going out in these side passages and other stuff.
Do they even have that mapped out though?
Yeah.
So they know any cave you're going into, they know ahead of time, oh, there's a 2 foot
Not any
by
cave.
3
Not any cave. But the caves in Florida where you do dive training, they're all mapped out in great detail. Yeah. So you, before you even go on the dive, like the instructor pulls out the map and says, we're going to go in here, we're going to go here, we're going to go here. Like you plot the whole thing because based on where you're going, you have to bring as many spools with you. Like there's a lot to it. But the guideline is where we used to not get lost in caves. We follow the guidelines. We have cave diving rules and we follow the guideline. And the guideline has these objects called arrows. So these arrows tell us where the exit is. This kinda is a cave diving arrow.
This reminds me a little bit of like, it's different, but with like boating where they got the green and the red.
Correct.
To stay.
Right. Yeah. So on the lines, and I'm not going to tie it properly. I'm just going to do a quick tie up. But this is what the line will look like in a cave. And that tells me that the exit is that way.
Right.
Right. So even if you're completely blind because the cave is dark, your lights broke, and we bring at least 3 lights is another thing that you learn in cave diving. But let's say all your 3 lights work and your body's 3 lights, all your 3 lights broke and your body's 3 lights broke, you still can hold the line, feel the arrow with your hand and be like, okay, the exit is that way. It's pretty straightforward. And then if the cave has flow, so there's flow, like in Florida, a lot of caves have flow. It's like a river under the ground. Then you just go with the flow. The flow is typically going out. It's called a spring. So we dive in against the flow and then with the flow on the way out.
Where's a typical place you're diving in Florida? Like what town's it close to?
Gainesville will be the closest town. Gainesville, Florida. So that area of Florida is called cave country.
So can
most
we
divers know
Google
it.
caves by Gainesville?
Yeah,
and we'll see some pictures.
Just look up Devil's Cave System. It's the most popular cave perhaps in Florida. And that's where I did my first cave
it's
dive.
inland cave diving.
Yeah, it's called the Devil's Cave System. Yeah, so it looks like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crystal clear water as well, but you can see the map. So that one right there.
Crystal clear?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Joe, that's the map. The partial map of Genie Springs is the place where you can go in and dive it. No, that's a different cave. So that is
the other one wasn't coming up.
Yeah, this is Devil's Den.
This is like an example kind of map
cavern
right here.
Yeah, just an example of the clarity of the water. But yeah, these caves are mapped. But like the Devil's Cave System is the most popular cave in Florida, I would think. There's a lot of people that dive that cave, and they still haven't found the end. So they've mapped like
That's not reassuring.
I think like 18,000 feet of caves, and they still just keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. Yeah. So this is what the cave map looks like.
Holy shit!
This is just a partial, view of the map. The map, if we lay it on this table, it will cover the whole table. I mean,
now
it's gigantic.
I'm just looking right here on the map, right? So it's really wide right here. How wide is it when it gets thin like this? Are we still talking, 10 yards across, 10 feet, 10 feet across?
Yeah. So I know that people can't hear you because you're not on the microphone, but you're asking depending.
Joe had to turn. Joe was on it.
Yeah.
Turn it around.
So the big ones that you were pointing at are really, really big. Like I would say you can drive a school bus through those. But I've been in little ones. Like if you see some of those, they look like a single line, like really tiny ones. That is like the width of a person. So like you can swim through it, but not scraping through it. You're not scraping through it. You're swimming through it. It's just you can't swim side by side with somebody. There's not enough room.
Yeah, but if you swim through it and then you get to one spot that hasn't been mapped before and it gets a little too tight, you get stuck and be dead.
No, this whole place is mapped out. I don't think you can find a place that it hasn't been mapped out that you can keep going in. And if you do, you should definitely lay your line and map it. But then, so the progression after cave diving, so after doing that for a couple of years, I think I've done at that point like 120 cave dives or something.
And how long would those ones be? You said the other ones would be maybe a half hour.
Yeah, most of my cave dives are 2 hours plus.
Whew.
Yeah. So after I did that, I got invited on my first expedition. The expeditions is when you go to caves that have not been mapped, that no human has ever been. So the first one I went was Roaring River, which is where I had that issue. And I wasn't an explorer on that. I was a safety diver on that team. And then I was invited to do cave exploration in Mexico, where I was actually exploring. The first one, I was looking for leads. So somebody else was laying line into Virgin Cave. Again, no human has ever been in there before. And the second person in the team is looking for leads, meaning looking for tunnels and places you can go, which is way harder than it looks.
You find any fucking blow down there?
And I don't think so. But there's some interesting things. Sometimes you're deep inside a cave and you find a mattress. Like, how is there a mattress in here?
Something's happening down there, bro. Something's going on.
Yeah. Or shoes or whatever. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But I've been in caves that nobody has ever been. I think I've been at this point in 3 or 4 expeditions.
You're not afraid of that at all when you go to...
No.
So you're about to go underwater into a cave that's never been mapped before.
It's awesome.
Maybe it's awesome.
Can't get enough of it. I wish I was doing that right now. Like it's the best. But again, you work your way to that. You work your way to, what is it that we know? Well, what we know is that this cave has an entrance here, and the type of entrance dictates what kind of gear you can wear and all that stuff. So like if the entrance is too tight, then we wear side mount stuff, which is nothing in our back, nothing in our chest, so we can squeeze through stuff. If the entrance is big, you can wear stuff in your back. Like it depends, right? But yeah, I mean, I've been to, I don't know how many caves now that people have never been to. I think I've laid at this point like 4,000 feet of line in virgin caves. Yeah.
So, all right. So how long is this? Like 2.5 feet, something like that? 2 feet?
Yeah. Now this is the thickness. Yeah. This is like 2 feet, maybe. This is the thickness of main explored cave line. When we do cave exploration, it's a thinner line. Thinner than this, but it still holds like 1,000 pounds. Like it's super strong, but like half the size of this, half the diameter.
How do you lay it? Are you like staple?
Yeah, you
gun
have a spool and you just run like with a spool and you're tying it in different places. Out of the 1 week of training to become a cave diver, like 3 or 4 days of those is line work. Like you'll learn how to run line.
So they're teaching everyone how to do that.
Yeah. You have to do it.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I don't ever want to fucking do it, but it's cool to hear you talk about it. What was the one in Mexico, the first one in Mexico you did?
The first one in Mexico was at a cenote in Cozumel that basically had been explored, I think, in the 70s or 80s or something like that. And they found some Mayan ruins or something in there, so they shut it down. Like nobody can dive. And then the government of Cozumel wanted to continue that exploration, so they invited a team to come, and I was lucky to be invited to be part of that team. So yeah, we went to this cenote called Chunha in Cozumel, and we laid a bunch of line in there.
So the Mayans were diving? Or
no,
this had to be
like Mayan pottery,
stuff
stuff like that. Like because cenotes are basically like a sinkhole. So this used to be and then it just collapsed, and now there's water down there.
Okay.
And they found some Mayan pottery. Now they took that out, and it's at a museum somewhere or whatever. that pottery wasn't there when we went, but the cenote exploration had stopped decades ago, and they invited us to go back.
Yeah.
So I think until this point, Chunha is the only cave or cenote that has my name on it. That like there's an area of the cave that I found that they put my name on that because I found it. And it's not my proudest moment because it's called Gus's Labyrinth. There's literally line everywhere. It went in all directions. So it's so confusing. I found so many rooms and leads that when you look at it on the map, it looks like a labyrinth. So they name it Gus's Labyrinth.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting.
No one's ever done it. I mean, whoa.
Yeah,
we're looking at it right now. That's Cozumel, you said?
Cozumel is the island in Mexico. There's so many cenotes out there.
Got it. Okay. How long ago was that?
So the first time I went there was, I think, 2022, 2023, something like that. I've been there twice after that. I think my favorite exploration was another place in Mexico, in Cozumel, called El Diablo.
The devil?
Yeah, the Devil's Cave. And that one is still to this day the sketchiest cave I've ever been. I mean, the whole cave's trying to kill you. It's like there's nothing good about that cave.
Why?
I mean, the entrance is complete zero visibility for like the first 100 feet. You are in mud and rock, chest and back. So you're literally like dragging yourself through mud in zero visibility. And then at some point you pop into the cave, and every rock in the cave is like jagged. It's like blades. So every time you touch something, you put your hand, you get cuts. But then the water has this thing called hydrogen sulfide, which is like acid that you can smell through your mask. Underwater, you can smell it. And it's like, it's terrible. Like it was used as a weapon in like World War I. It's like terrible. So you're swimming in this. You come out of the water after your dive, and anything that was metal that you have is black. So you went in and it was like silver color, and you come out and it's black. Tanks that we leave in this water bubble like the water is eating the aluminum in the tank. It's like toxic water.
Sea level.
It's not deep. It's, I would say, I don't know, 40 feet or something. It's not deep. The cave is not deep, but it's just like the whole cave is, it's like dangerous. It's really dangerous. And I love it. Like it's my favorite cave. Yeah. It's just my favorite.
How many times have you done it?
I think I've done like 10 dives at El Diablo. Yeah.
For 2 to 4 hours a piece?
Yeah. Well, my longest one was 4 hours and 10 minutes. It was there.
So you have zero visibility for up to 100 feet.
Like the first 100 feet of the cave. Yeah. First 5 minutes.
What's going through your mind when you're going into something for the first time? Maybe not the third time you did it because you knew what to expect, but you're going into something and you cannot see. And it's did you know it was going to be like 100 feet or?
But the people that discover it, they told me about it.
And you can't see anything. Anywhere you may touch could be basically like stab you like a knife. Like is your heart rate jacked while
No, I love it. I love every second of it. I don't know.
Where are you from?
I tell you, it's the best.
Where'd you grow up?
I literally cannot wait to go back.
Where'd you grow up? Like, where are you from? I feel like you were getting into shit when you were like 7.
No. It's so good. I love it. Yeah. It's just part of what makes it special is all those dangers. And the fact that you have trained so much to get to a point where you can do it safely. Yeah. Yeah.
What does your wife think of all of this?
She hates it.
I was going to say.
She hates all of it. But she's not even a diver. She doesn't dive at all.
Oh, that's I see. This is your golf.
Yeah, but she knows.
Get out of the house.
She knows that she's not gonna talk me out of it. I mean, I just love it. It's just what I do, and she knows that if something happened, I just die doing what I love. I just love it. I mean, I love everything about it.
Yeah, I mean that's very clear. It's just like you know, people like activities that you don't have to think about 7,000 things before you go in there, or risk death.
Yeah. Well, I mean. Again, I feel like we're talking about the absolutely most dangerous type of diving that you can do, which is cave exploration in super tight caves filled with acid water. Like, that it doesn't get more dangerous than that. And I don't want people watching this to think like, well, if I get into diving, that's what I'm going to do. Like, no. Like, you don't have to do anything like that. And even with cave diving in big caves, I tell people, you don't have to cave dive. I just happen to land on that and love it. But just like I love it, there's a chance that I wouldn't have loved it, you know? But yeah, cave diving is a whole animal. And you were talking about the cave rescue, the Thai cave rescue. That was gnarly.
So actually, that's 2018, right? When they did that? So that's the year you're learning how to dive.
Yeah, I think it was after that, because I feel like when the rescue happened, I was already a cave diver. I think like I was already certified.
So for people that don't remember this story,
so it was 2018. Never mind.
It was an international story.
Oh, yeah.
It was a soccer team. I think they were like between ages 11 and 16. All these kids. Their assistant coach decided to celebrate. I don't remember what they were celebrating, but they were celebrating something after practice and decided to go into a fucking cave. I don't know why. One of the kids, or a few of them maybe, didn't go, so that's how they knew that the team went to the cave, and they didn't return from the cave, so people went and found their shit outside the cave and then realized they were stuck in it. And I forget, but this lasted a while. They were in there a while, and there was incoming monsoon season, meaning that there was a water table rising in different parts of the cave, and they got stuck. Yeah,
so this cave, I'm not an expert in this cave or anything. I've never been, but I believe this cave floods like a few months of the year. Whenever it's the rainy season, the cave floods, and then when the rainy season goes away, it goes empty again. So these kids went in, and there was some freak rain, like once in 100-year type of rain that flooded the cave once they were deep inside the cave. And of course, they thought they were all dead, and they called cave divers to go and find them.
Is this basically in that kind of situation? Are they always going to call like military dudes? Or
military dudes don't train for cave diving, and I think that's the problem. I think first they try with the Thai Navy SEALs, which, by the way, I believe Thai Navy SEALs go through the U.S. Navy SEAL training in Coronado. Like they come here and go through the training in Coronado. They don't do the training in Thailand. But anyway, they're badasses. Like, the Thai Navy SEALs are legit dudes. They call them, but they are like, we're not cave divers. And I think they brave it. They try to go in, and they couldn't figure it out, because cave diving is not for superhumans. It's just people that learn the techniques that are needed to be safe in a cave. And these are regular average people. Like, I've met a couple of the people that rescue those kids in Thailand, and they're just like normal dudes. They're not superhumans.
They weren't military.
They're not like Navy SEAL guys or whatever. No, like I met.
What was the guy's name?
So I met Richard Harris, who was the doctor who sedated the kids. He's an Australian.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they couldn't panic down there. That's a big thing. You can't panic.
And you would have absolutely panicked immediately if they didn't sedate those kids. So that was definitely the right call. The only way to get them out. So Richard Harris, I met him in person, and he is an amazing diver. He's doing gnarly, like to 800 feet. Like he's breathing like hydrogen or something. Like He's doing stuff that I'll never do. Like that guy is a whole next level, Richard Harris. And then Rick Stanton, I met him in person. I spent a whole week with him earlier this year, which was super interesting. And he not only showed us what the rescue was like, but he allowed us to do it. So he brought the same stuff that they put on the kids. And then he told us how to do it. So I actually...
How did they do it? Can you break it down?
Yeah. So I actually took Woody, my co-host on Dive Talk, and I bound him, hands behind the back and legs and everything, put all the stuff, the face mask and everything. And then I blinded myself because they couldn't see anything. The rescuers couldn't see anything. And then I did this mock rescue of him. So,
in a real cave?
No, it wasn't a real cave. We did it in a pool. But the pool, there was some navigation in the pool. So I had to like swim around, and the pool had like a grotto. So like we surfaced in the grotto. It was super interesting. We recorded this whole thing on Dive Talk. And then we let other people do it. And some people made it. Some people didn't make it. We were lucky that me and Woody both made it. So spoiler alert, meaning like I was able to rescue him blind. Right. And then I was the victim and he was able to rescue me blind.
You didn't actually sedate each other.
No. Right. But we didn't move. And that's another thing. Can you be underwater and not move, tied with hands behind your back and bound in your legs and just like be cool? I thought it was the most relaxing experience. It was awesome.
So how did they, because I don't remember the specifics of the story, like exactly what the process was. You're going through some of it right now, but let's break it all down.
Yeah.
So they sent a doctor down there who was also a diver.
Well, so let's back out for a second. Okay. So they call these cave divers to come in and can you help us find the bodies? Like they thought it was going to be a body recovery, not a rescue. And they go in, and as they start exploring the cave and going deeper, they find these workers from like a cable company or a gas company, like a electric. It was like a utility company inside the cave. Nobody knew they were there. Adults, like some workers that were like laying cable inside the cave or something. And then they go in and they find these guys and they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad you found them. I'm like, they didn't even know. They were looking for kids and they run into these adults.
Oh my God.
Like imagine you go into a cave like that looking for kids and then it's like 3 AT&T workers in there.
Like you don't watch the news, do
What
you?
is going on? And like nobody knew they were in the cave. So then they rescue those guys without sedation. Okay, they rescue those guys without sedation, and it was like a brawl as soon as they put them underwater, they started fist fighting the rescuers. Like they panic. I mean,
wait, so they rescued the guys were down there, and they were stuck too.
They were stuck in an air chamber, in an air pocket.
Got it. So the guys panicked.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, I'll get you out of here. So breathe this thing, put this mask on, whatever. As soon as you're on the water, you can't see anything, and you're in a cave. Dude, like they lost it. And like they came out there like with bruises and bleeding. So that's how they learned that we can't do this to kids. We can't do it. So when they found the kids ultimately, and they thought they were going to, again, run into a bunch of bodies and the kids were alive, then they started thinking about, well, how do we get them out of here?
And they had to like get them fed for a while because this took days, right?
I think they were in there for 18 days or something.
So they got food down to them? Yeah. They basically dove food in or something?
Yeah, they brought food. They fed them. I think they brought a couple of the Navy SEAL guys, to stay with the kids. I mean, I don't know the entire process of it, the whole story of it. We got it directly from Rick Stanton, which was the lead rescuer in that whole operation. And it was great to see a lot of like behind the scenes pictures and videos and stuff. That was cool. But anyway, eventually they realized that the only way to do it is sedating these kids.
So when you say sedating them, they're completely under.
Yeah.
Meaning like they're asleep. They're not like,
It's the only way.
So
it's the only way.
They get them asleep. They put a full mask on them and everything. And their body can...
Face mask. Yeah.
So
full face mask.
Their body's breathing voluntarily.
Breathing normal. Yeah.
And then they tie them.
They tie them hands behind the back
in case they were to wake up.
If they wake up. Yeah. And then every rescuer carried like a syringe to re-inject. Like if they start moving, like they're waking up, just hammer them on the leg and put him back to sleep again. It was gnarly, dude. It's not...
And they're doing one at a time.
Yeah. One kid at a time, yeah. And it was unbelievable. Like,
how long, can we Google that, Joe? How long it took once they started the rescue?
Yeah, it was like 3 days, I think, something like that. But
how far was the dive itself to get to where they were?
I think it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours carrying a kid. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Hold on a second. Yes, you're in water, so like you have like there's a buoyancy mechanism there, but you're carrying a kid diving and moving forward with equipment on
Yep.
for 2 or 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Like I see you're in great shape. You got to be in insane shape to do that and do that. There were 2 divers total doing this over 3 days across like 12 kids or 15 kids or something.
Yeah. It was 3 or 4 of them. I think it was John Bolantham, Rick Stanton, Richard Harris. I'm trying to remember some of the other people there. But yeah, I mean they did a great job. I mean the stuff they did.
Look at that.
I wouldn't even imagine
Back to the
being in that position. Yeah, no, they did a great job. Those guys are heroes, and that's one of the things that I just didn't understand. Like Elon Musk was like, "Oh, I'll just build a submarine and we'll just go get him." It's like you have no idea what you're talking about. Like zero clue. Like whatever you're thinking, it's just forget about it. Like I have nothing against Elon Musk. Like, I'm not an Elon hater or whatever. But like when he said that, I'm like, you have no clue what you're talking about.
Let's build a sub and go through this.
So stupid.
Better be like
it's
a
the
2
dumbest thing.
centimeter
It's like,
drone.
oh, don't worry, I'll prove it to you. I'm gonna build a Tesla sub that will make it through. Shut up. Like
So
what
that all right, this is actually a great image right here that we
Yeah.
have on the screen, Joe. Let's pull this up just because so people can see this.
Yeah, so 1
this
kilometer
shows-
into the cave.
It's 1 kilometer.
Yeah, so that's over half a mile inside the cave.
Wait, hold on. It's 1 kilometer
From
below the
entrance.
ground, but the entrance
from
is
the-
5.
Oh, 5 kilometers. Yeah, from
Yeah.
the entrance, 1 kilometer. So this map is good to illustrate that they couldn't just dig a hole and get him out through the hole.
And it's showing what
Yeah.
a combination it is of both diving and then climbing over rocks on
Yeah.
land
It's
with
called
a
sump
body.
diving. Sump diving, which is very popular in England, and that's why I think the British divers that came in to rescue these kids were Jason Mallison was the other name I was thinking of. They were better prepared to deal with this.
So he's like, I'm looking at the picture there. You see the big mound at
Yep.
the beginning of the entrance.
Yep.
When he get on the way out, let's just focus on that part. When he's on the way out with a kid who's sedated, you
Yep.
know, it's not a 20-year-old, but you're talking 11, 14, 15 year. I mean, they weigh something.
Yep.
He's carrying them up those rocks.
Well, they had other divers set up to help with that, help with the transport. So in every one of those air pockets that you see in the cave map, they had other teammates. So
Oh, wow.
because of the narrow passage, only one diver could carry one kid. But once it opened up into an air pocket or whatever, into a sump,
it's like an assembly line.
yeah, then somebody else could help, carry them.
And then, so would it be the same diver though? Meaning if Rick went back there to where the boys were and
Yep.
he starts and he gets through that first area with the water and gets up to the assembly line, is he walking past the guys on the assembly line and getting to the water and
Yep.
continuing?
Yeah, those guys carry them all
So
the way
it
to
wasn't
the
like
exit.
a relay race where there was
No.
one at each. Got
No,
it.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it was
We gotta get Rick
unbelievable.
on the podcast. Holy shit.
Rick is awesome, dude. It's like one of my favorite people on earth. And he's the first one who tells you, like, I'm not a certified cave diver. Like, he learned by doing, I know.
Wait,
These
what?
guys are another.
Yeah,
these
no,
guys
no,
are
let's
another
do the
level.
other. Let's go there. He's not
Yeah.
a certified cave diver, and he pulled off the
I don't
greatest
think-
rescue
I don't-
in history.
I don't think Rick Stanton is a certified diver, period. Like, open water diver
What
at
the
all.
fuck was he doing? Did he sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night? Like,
He
what's
learned
going
by
on?
doing. He learned by doing. And he's Rick forgot about cave diving more than I know about cave diving. Like, the guy is a legend.
Why
Yeah.
was he called in to do this if he's not certified?
Because he's one of the best in the world.
one of the best. What?
Sump divers, rescue divers. He's one of the best cave divers in the world. Rick Stanton is a legend in cave diving. Before the Thai cave rescue, he was a legend.
But you just said he didn't know how to do.
Yeah, but most of the grandfather, whatever, the godfathers of cave diving were not cave. There wasn't cave diving training. These guys learned by doing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I misunderstood you. So he
Yeah.
learned by doing. He didn't have like your resources when he
Right.
was learning. He's self-taught. You're saying?
Yeah, like the rules of cave diving that I learn and that I follow in every dive I go
Or because of guys like him.
are because of people like that. The guy who wrote the rules of cave diving, Sheck Exley, he was an American like math teacher that became an absolute legend in cave diving, and he wrote the rules. Sheck almost died, I don't know how many times, and he ended up diving in like the deepest cenote in Mexico or something at 800 feet or something. He died. But yeah, those rules were written in blood. I mean, they were people that died because they didn't follow those rules. They weren't even rules at that point, but we learned from their deaths, and now we have rules that we follow.
Is that the most amazing rescue you ever heard of? What they pulled off here?
There's a bunch. Yeah, Sheck Exley, he's awesome. He died in Mexico.
How did he die?
He was on a super deep cave dive.
Damn it.
Super
died on a
deep.
dive.
Yeah, but he died at like 800 feet deep or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it would be like saying like, oh, he was a race car driver and he died, you know, on a car accident or whatever. Yeah, but it would be the equivalent of like setting the land speed record. Like he was doing a super gnarly dive.
How old was he? Can we go back?
I don't know. He was in his 40s, maybe 50, something like that.
All right, let's hit his Wikipedia. So he's 45.
Yeah. 49.
94.
Yeah, 49 to 94.
Death, Joe, down to his death.
Yeah, he was 45 when he died.
All right, so Exley died age 45 on April 6, 1994, while attempting to descend to a depth of over 1,000 feet in a freshwater cenote or sinkhole called Zacatón in the state of Tamaulipas, Mexico. He made the dive as part of a dual dive with Jim Bowden, but Bowden aborted his descent early when his gas supply ran low, so Exley was alone.
No, these guys were doing insane stuff. Like if you look at the dive profile of this dive, it's like it makes no sense for the knowledge that we have now because of people like Sheck.
Right.
Like these guys were breathing air past 300 feet. Like I said, the maximum operating depth of air is 218. These guys were breathing air to like 400 feet or something. It was like they were doing stuff that was crazy. I think Sheck's physiology was better than most people.
For sure.
When it came to,
got to be above average.
Yeah, when he came to people, not as an athlete. I just think as a diver, he was made for diving.
But he's definitely in shape too. Exley's body was recovered when his support crew hauled up his unused decompression tanks. It was found that he had looped into the descent line, perhaps to sort out gas issues. His wrist-mounted dive computer read a maximum depth of 906 feet.
Insane.
The cause of Exley's death could not be determined. Team members concluded the causes could include stress of HPNS exacerbated by the narcotic effects of nitrogen. At that depth, the line was also wrapped deliberately around Exley's tank valves. Bowden and other experts have theorized that Exley might have done this in anticipation of his own death.
He was going to die.
To prevent any dangerous body recovery operations. Holy shit.
So imagine
knowing you're going to die and saying, let me prep the people that are going to find me.
Imagine that you are so conscious to know that, okay, this is it. I'm going to make it easy for people to recover my body rather than just drifting and letting them seek for my body in thousands of feet of water or whatever. So like, I'm going to wrap myself to the line. So when they pull it up, my body will come with it. Yeah.
You mentioned that you had that dangerous dive in Missouri where you narked a little bit, but again, that's also like where you're kind of loopy and your brain's fucked with a little bit, so you're out of it.
I was a little out of it. These guys were.
Have you ever had a moment where in a dive anywhere where you're fully aware and you say to yourself, "There's a chance I'm not going to make this back," and you prepare yourself for death?
No, I've never prepared myself for death, but I've been in situations where if it wasn't for my dive buddy, Woody in this case, I think I would have probably died.
Can you give me one of those?
Yeah, like at El Diablo, the cave we were talking about earlier, that entrance, the zero visibility entrance is so tight and the line is not laid in the best way. So I got wrapped around line in that portion, so I couldn't see anything. I was underwater and I was tied with line somewhere in my tanks that I couldn't reach, and I was just there. Like I was a fish caught in a net, basically. Now, obviously, we're on rebreathers, which means we can last there for hours. But if nobody would have helped me, I would have potentially eventually drowned. But luckily, I'm diving with a buddy. And unlike what you hear from other people telling stories like Donald Cerrone when he told his story where he said, if I'm with my buddy and they run into issues, I'm saving myself. No, that's the complete opposite of reality. My buddy, Woody, came behind me and he found me completely entangled in line. And we trained for this during cave diving training.
What was the visibility like when he found you?
Zero vis.
Oh my God.
So he just ran into me and I was there stuck on the line. And I'm like, help.
Did you have was this one of the situations where you had a radio kind of thing?
No.
So you just hit him or something?
We're just talking on the water because with a rebreather, you can kind of yell and make up words.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. So like if I tell you go, like you would understand that. Yeah. Okay. Help.
You can hear it. God, it's so hard for me to think about.
And he's like, okay. I can tell. And again, we're in zero vis, so he's feeling me. And then he feels the line and then we start, we spent like 10 minutes untangling me from this mess in zero vis. I would say that's probably the closest.
Gus.
Yeah.
When I double tie my shoe, like double knot my shoe at the gym, and then come home because I wear Everlast boxing shoes. So they're like on my ankles and everything, line all the way up very tight. I'll have moments where I come home and I can't get the knot undone and my brain starts claustrophobic,
you start panicking
out, and I gotta go, sit down,
it's okay.
Catch your breath. We're going to get this. And then it takes a few minutes and I get it.
Yeah.
Now imagine no visibility. You're under fucking water. You're breathing in a tank. You can't say things out loud. You can't see around you. It's a cave. And now you got line tangled that you can't see to untangle. Holy shit, bro.
I know. And so during cave diving training, you learn how to deal with that if you get tangled. So you're taught what to do to minimize the chances of entanglement. But if you get entangled, here's how you're going to handle that. And if you have to cut the line, this is how you fix the line. So like all of this is part of cave diving training, like all of it. And again, I'm thankful for that. I didn't just magically come up with this. So anyway, Woody was good enough to figure out where the entanglement was, untangle me. Let's go back to the surface and talk about this. And so we went back to the surface and I was like, okay, well, that was sketchy. And
let's go back.
Yeah, so we went back right away and did like a 2.5 hour dive after that.
Imagine he's untangling you.
Yeah. On your neck. Yeah. No, it was all over my tank. I mean, at some point, obviously you contemplate cutting it, but there was another team inside the cave already at that time.
Oh, there was.
So I would have had to repair the line for them, or else it would have come out and have no line to the surface. And you can find it. I mean, it's complete pitch black. There's no way you know where the exit is unless you have a guideline. So we would have had to fix it for them. So we would have spent the next hour fixing the line for those guys. Luckily, he was able to get me off of it without breaking the line. I mean, this line you can see, it's not hard to break, but we can cut it if we have to. I mean, if I'm entangled underwater.
I mean, it's sturdy, but I see what you're saying. You can cut it if you have to.
Yeah.
Do you, like, in your training and in all the time you train for this before you ever do something like this, do they go through mental exercises with you about how to handle situations? Like I've talked with Navy SEALs before, for example, not related to diving, but just like situations where they have to do, you know, some techniques where they can reduce their anxiety, you know, whether it's a mental technique or what it might be. Intel guys have to do that as well. Like, is there any training like that for, hey, you get in this situation, you have to tell yourself you're okay, here's how you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of training is you have to stop, breathe, and think about what the problem is and how to solve it. So they do train you with that. My cave diving instructor, his name is Doug Ebersol. He told me that, look, out of all people, there's like 25% of people that will never panic, no matter what you do. They're just born without the panic gene. They just don't care.
That's you.
They can be, no, I don't think that's me, but they can be being shot at like Navy SEALs and they'll just like smiling, like they just don't panic. There's people that are mentally like that. They didn't train for it. They were just born that way. And then there's people that no matter what you teach them and what techniques you tell them and how to handle whatever, they will panic no matter what. When they're facing a situation like that, they're going to panic and shut down. But the vast majority of people can deal with panic. And the way we deal with it is we stop what we're doing, we look at the problem, think of the solution for this specific problem, and then take care of it, right? Prioritize and execute. Okay, what do I have to do now? And I think you can keep breaking that down into the simplest form, which is the next move that I'm going to make needs to be forward, needs to be trying to get me out of here. And there's a point where there's no move to make. At El Diablo, when I was entangled, I tried to untangle myself and I realized I can't do it. So the only thing I can do at that point is make it worse by pulling hard, losing the line from whatever is tied up, making it impossible for Woody to find me and help me. So I just lay there, literally underwater in the darkness, just like there's nothing to do. So why panic? Yeah, why panic? Just breathe. Normal. Like I can't move. I'm entangled. I get it. Just wait. Woody's going to come at some point. And if not, and I remember thinking about this. I'm like, if Woody can't find me, then the guys that are inside the cave, at some point, they'll run into me and then they'll help me. So worst case scenario, I'm just going to have to lay here for 3 hours until they come out and then they'll help me. Like I remember thinking that, but luckily again, Woody came like 5 minutes later, running to me, helped me out of it. And we were good to go.
I just thought of this random question. Like, let's say you're sitting there for 3 hours. Yeah. Do you just like piss through your wetsuit?
If you have to. Yeah.
Is that what you do on a dive? You just
Yeah,
fucking,
most people pee on their wetsuits. Like it's not a big deal. I try not to, but I
you don't
have
want Woody
a bunch of
catching
times.
the draft.
Right. Well, with the water El Diablo, I don't think that's just toxic water. I think I would have enhanced it if I peed on it. So
Jesus Christ. I'm getting all day. I'm getting claustrophobia just thinking about some of this.
Yeah.
That's why this would not be for me. I don't like being in like really, really tight spaces. I don't mind small spaces. Like elevators are perfectly cool, shit like that. But like the idea when I'll see imagery of like someone shimmying through a cave or something like that.
But that's
like,
what most people think cave diving is like. But most cave diving is not like that. Most cave diving is big, caves. I mean, there's like the Mount Everest of cave diving is in Florida. It's called Eagle's Nest. And at Eagle's Nest, you can fit, I don't know, maybe like an aircraft carrier inside that thing. It's that big. The cave is that big. You cannot see, you cannot see the other wall. It's like that big. It's huge. And Eagle's Nest is a good example of what a cave looks like. They're humongous passages.
Oh yeah, we got it. Deep's got it up here.
Yeah.
You know what? I do have
cave.
to say this. All the imagery we've been looking at today of like
beautiful
cave dives of places you are fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. You haven't even seen the Abaco caves. The Abaco caves with all the crystal are just breathtaking.
Where's that?
This is in Abaco. It's an island of the Bahamas.
And have you dived in these?
Yeah. I've been 4 times maybe to Abaco, and it's just gorgeous. Just look at
you really
Glass
do dive
Factory. Look at Glass Factory, Abaco, and you'll see what I mean. So I think the one over here on the left, it's an example of that. But yeah, Glass Factory is a good example. So,
whoa.
Yeah, so when you go inside the cave, it looks like you're diving inside a chandelier. I mean, it's just glass everywhere.
All right, if you guys are listening to this and not watching it, if you're on like Apple or something like that, go over to Spotify or YouTube for a minute and look at this. Deef, can we get that big right there? Blow up that one of them that looks beautiful. So we're like an hour 35 into the podcast right now. So with the ads in there, we're probably like at the 138 mark or something. But
yeah,
whoa, that doesn't look real.
I know.
How? All right, so how wide is that right there? Because the depth perception's a little off. Okay, so he's got like, looks like maybe 4 feet of room right there to go through that top to bottom.
Yeah, I would say 4 feet is about right. The whole ceiling is decorated with crystals, so you don't want to hit the ceiling. What you do is you crawl on your stomach.
Can they stab you?
In here, I mean, the crystal it's heavy. Like if it hits you in the head, it would hurt. But the diver that you see in here with a yellow helmet, his name is Brian Kaycock. Brian Kaycock is perhaps the greatest diver that ever lived. Like Brian Kaycock is amazing.
What has he done?
So he was a diver in the Navy, and then he became a cave diver like decades ago. And he lives in Abaco. He is your guide when you go diving in Abaco. And Brian Kaycock is just, he's spotless. Like his technique diving, he's just unbelievable.
What about his technique is like so good?
He just looks like a submarine. He's just perfect underwater. He can move in any direction. He knows, I think the most perhaps underrated skill that Brian has, in my opinion, is his awareness of his gear and his body. Like he can rotate in the middle of crystal and not hit anything. Whereas for most people, it's hard to know where my fins end or whatever, because these are extensions of your body. He just knows his size so well.
He's like a cat.
Yeah, he's amazing. So Brian, I love Brian, diving with Brian because it just makes it effortless.
Oh, so you've gotten to do it with him as well?
Yeah. Brian was my instructor also in one of the rebreathers that I'm certified, because when you learn how to dive rebreathers, you have to get certified on every unit. Every unit is different. And I'm certified in 4 different rebreathers. He was my instructor for one of the 4. And he's just amazing.
You're unbelievably well-traveled with this stuff.
I mean, like, I enjoy
holy
it.
Shit, man. Like it again, I said something like this earlier, but now that you've been like spelling out pieces of your career with this throughout, you're talking about doing stuff with cave diving in the last 5.5 years or whatever, with diving in general the last 7.5.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've packed like 30 years into that. You're doing caves in all these different countries.
Well,
you're
you
doing
have
caves
to.
Here.
You don't have to go to other countries, but I think for cave diving, because cave diving is so skill intensive, if you stop doing it for months, you just lose the skills.
Right.
Yeah.
You
so you have to keep going. It's a lifelong commitment, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now you sent me this clip over the weekend when we were talking of Cowboy Donald Cerrone.
Yeah.
Talking about
cave diving,
cave diving. So he obviously he was a long time UFC fighter, really famous guy, but he's I was unfamiliar with this. He's apparently, certified in cave diving and does a bunch of that. And so he was talking with Joe Rogan 7 or 8 years ago or something, going through some story where he almost died. And you were telling me like everything he was saying.
It just doesn't make sense.
Why?
There's so much to unpack on that. And Donald Cerrone is one of those people that I would love to have on Dive Talk or even go diving with him, because I'm trying to understand why do you do what you claim on that video that you did?
All right. So for people who haven't seen the video, we can't play it because of copyright issues. I told you sometimes that'll happen with some of these videos of other podcasts and stuff. But like, what exactly, the story was gnarly. Like, I don't know anything about cave diving, so I'm watching it like,
yeah.
But what exactly, where was he? What was he doing? And how did he explain it going down?
So there's two things. Number one, the stuff that he's talking about on the video maybe happened to him, maybe. But the thing is, everything that he said that happened to him, let's just believe that everything happened. He would have avoided if he just followed the rules of cave diving. Like none of that would have happened. Literally, if he just followed the rules that you learn when you become a certified cave diver. So like, for example, at the beginning of the video, he says, he's talking to his wife and he's like, I'm coming home. Like, he's making it sound like cave diving is this like Russian roulette. Like, there's a huge chance you're going to die if you go cave diving. No, if you're a certified cave diver, 99.99999% of cave dives go without issues, right? Because you know what you're doing and you follow the rules, you train for it, right? So at the beginning, he makes it sound like it's way more dangerous than what it is. So I already have a problem with that. Now, I don't have a problem saying cave diving is dangerous, and it's one of the most dangerous activities you can do, especially if you're not a certified cave diver. A lot of people have died in caves because they're not certified cave divers. They don't have the right equipment, the skills, and they go and they get lost and drown and die. But he is allegedly a certified cave diver. I believe that he is, because some of the things he said on the video make sense. He explained, how cookies and arrows are used and things like that. But one of the things that bothered me immediately was the fact that he said, well, in cave diving, one of the unspoken facts about cave diving is that you just care about yourself. What are you talking about? Like, you're part of a team. Even if that team is 2 people, you're going in together because you have each other's back. So the story starts, if whoever's watching this, if you watch the video, the story starts because the dive buddy that he went with got tangled in line. And in the process of being tangled in line, he disturbed the silt and visibility went to 0 in the cave. And Donald Cerrone, all of a sudden, he doesn't know what to do, because he's like, one of the main unspoken rules of cave diving is that if you get into trouble, I'm leaving. Like, I'm going out. It's better for one of us to die than both of us to die. Like, immediately watching that, I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, for most people that are not cave divers, they're like, it makes sense. Somebody gets panicked and whatever in trouble, save yourself. That's not how cave diving works at all. Now, I'm not saying other people haven't done it in the past, but no, you help your teammate, just like Woody helped me at El Diablo when I got entangled. Right. Oh, this guy got entangled? Hey, let me help you out. And then multiple times, he's like, I found the main line and I just let go of it and started crawling in the ceiling. Why? The guy line takes you to the exit, and we have arrows in the line that tell you where the exit is. So several times, I think at least 2 or 3 times in that story, he's like, I found the line, but I let go because I remember a crack in the ceiling, and that crack in the ceiling would take me to the exit. The guy line takes you to the exit. Like, why would you let go of the line? Like, at some point, he's like, I'm thinking I'm going to die, so I'm thinking about writing a note. And we joked on the show that you should have written, like, I let go of the line. Like, it's like, it's number one. Like, having a line to the exit is paramount. Follow the line. You can follow it in zero vis. Like one of the exercises is zero vis navigation on the line. You okay the line. You put your hand around it and follow it all the way to the exit.
So even though it's a bright colored line that's like...
No, you can't see it.
You can't see it at
No,
all.
I don't know. And that's another thing that people are like, well, the line should be like fluorescent, glow in the dark. No, when it's zero vis, you cannot see it. It's literally a wall. You can't see anything.
They don't have signs for that now for the lines we're laying.
It doesn't matter. You can make it out of like, you know, Wonder Woman's lasso, like full on light. It doesn't matter. You won't be able to see it. Yeah. Like my flashlight that I use for cave diving is a 4,000 lumen Orca Torch D630. And I can face it to my eyes and can't see it. Like it doesn't matter. It's like super powerful lights won't cut through it.
Do you carry that in a hand like this, or do you keep it on a helmet or anything?
You can have it in your helmet, but the one I wear is on my hand. It's called a Goodman handle. It's a handle that we have on the hand for cave diving.
Okay.
And then I carry 3 extra lights on top of that for backup. But the point is, several times he makes these claims that just don't make any sense. Like if you find the guideline, stay on the guideline. Even if you have to go and help your body and they are on a side passage without line or whatever, which they have line because he got entangled in that, you can attach your own line to the main line and swim to your body with your line. So always finding a way to go back to your guideline. All of this is basic training. I'm not talking about like, well, Gus, that's you because you're a cave explorer and you know what you're doing. No. This is week 1 of cave diving training. They teach you how to do this. Lost line procedures. They teach you how to find the line again and make sure you don't lose it again. He lost it multiple times. They teach you lost body procedures. If you lose your body, how to find your body, get him back on the line and out of there. All right. This is an exercise that you have to do in cave diving training. I assume Donald Cerrone did all of this because if you don't do it, you cannot get certified. Right? So why on this story, he's making it sound like he did none of the things that he learned in cave diving. So he's either lying about it or demonstrating that all the things that happened to him, he could have avoided by following the simple rules of cave diving and what he learned in training.
Right.
Yeah. So this is one thing that I would always love to have him on the show. The way Joe Rogan interviewed him, I would have just bombarded him with questions. Like the first time he said, so I let go of the line, I would have been like, why? Why would you let go of the line? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It would be like, I jumped out of the parachute and I activated my main parachute and it worked. And then I just cut it off because I wanted to use my backup. Like, huh? Like,
was there
this doesn't make any sense.
Was there a lot of backlash from like the diving community online when this story came out, where they were talking about a lot of the same things you are? Like, what the fuck?
No, I think when we started recording reactions, there wasn't anything out there that was talking about this stuff. Yeah, no, I think
that's interesting.
I think some of the comments in that video were from legit divers that were like, hey, this is not making any sense. But they are drowned by the thousands of other comments of people are like, whoa, you're barely alive. Like, you're lucky to be alive. You know, all this other stuff where for me is like, bro, if you just follow the simple rules of cave, I mean, none of that would have happened. He's like, oh, you know, when I went in the cave, I took a reading with my compass just so I know where the exit is. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Why? Because caves are like a maze, and it's not even a 3-dimensional maze like on a regular maze. Caves go up and down and sideways and in all directions. So it would be like if you went into a 10-story building, walked in the lobby of the building, took a compass reading to the exit, and then went to the 8th floor to a corner and then try to use that reading to find the exit of the building. Like, it's impossible. It's completely nonsensical to take a compass reading like he said that he did. So that would have been another question for him. It's like, why would you take a compass reading? It's useless once you're in the cave.
Was this a largely unexplored cave he was in, or one that did have a
I don't know.
Mapped?
He didn't say the name of the cave, but he did say where it was. He said it was Cozumel.
Okay.
In that story. And the only cenote that I'm aware of that non-explorers with a permit by the government, kind of the way that we went, can dive is called Aerolito. But I've dived that cenote, and I don't remember crevices in the ceiling or anything like that. He also makes it sound like it wasn't a freshwater cave, like it was an ocean cave. I've seen some caves in Cozumel that are ocean caves, but again, you're not supposed to dive those. Maybe that's why he didn't say the name, because he went into them.
Why aren't you supposed to dive those?
because they're dangerous or the line, like I remember diving a cave in Mexico called Dos Coronas that is a ocean cave, and the salt water deteriorated the guide line to the point that you would just touch it and it breaks. So there's a huge danger that you can go deep inside a cave and then get completely lost and the line is broken and you can't find your way out. So
outside of the saltwater effect, what are the biggest differences between like an ocean cave and, a freshwater?
The other problem with an ocean cave is tides. So tides can affect the way the water works in the cave. So when we go into any cave, really, you want to go into caves that have either no current or there are a spring. A spring means that the water is exiting the cave. It's like a river that is coming out of the cave. That means that you're going in against flow, but then if you have to get out, the flow is pushing you out. What you don't want to do is dive a siphon. So a siphon is water is rushing into the cave. So going in is easy because you're going with the flow, but if you have an emergency or something, now you're swimming against the flow to get out of the cave. That's what you're trying to avoid. Diving siphons is extremely dangerous. So ocean caves can switch based on tides from being a spring to a siphon. They can behave in different ways depending on the time of the day and the tides and all of that. So they're just more dangerous, but again, you approach them with a safety brief and decide at what time you're going and all of that. But I don't think he was in an ocean cave. I think that he was probably doing Aerolito, which is the most common cenote in Cozumel. Every cave diver that goes to Cozumel dives that place. It's awesome, by the way. It has its own like ecosystem. There's animals in there that you cannot find anywhere else.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Aerolito.
What kind of animals we talking?
Like, I don't know the scientific name or whatever, but they're like sea stars or whatever that you can only find in that hole.
Not shit that eats you.
No.
Okay.
No. You don't. There's
Do you
no
run into
big
that?
animal.
Like sharks swimming through these fucking caves?
No, not really.
Can you imagine that? You're in like low vis water and then
No,
suddenly
most of the animals that you find in caves are tiny, translucent bugs. Basically, you can see through them. Like if you shine them with your light, you can see their heart beating inside their bodies and stuff. They're pretty cool. They're completely blind and they're translucent because they grow up in no light, so they have no pigmentation. Yeah.
It's like fucking Bane. You merely adopted the dog. I was born in it. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you obviously do this for the love of diving, and, you've mentioned how you'll go map places that haven't been mapped, but you also mentioned one of them where there was the rumor that there had been, like, Mayan pottery. Not the rumor, like, there literally had been Mayan pottery that had been found down there and stuff. Have you ever gone to a cave where there's an expectation like, oh, we might find, like, some treasure here or something?
No, I think every cave in Mexico that we go into, we hope to find something.
So you are hoping.
Yeah. I am hoping. Now, I know I can't keep it or anything like that, but I think
You can't?
No. That's all, like, depending on the country. Like I think here in the US, if you find like a wreck and it has like gold, stuff in it or whatever, you can keep it. Or I think you get to claim it and then you can harvest it. I've never done that. I've never done, diving for treasure or whatever.
Allegedly.
I've never done it.
But one's listening. You can
nobody's watching. No, I've done a ton of gold. No, I'm kidding. But in Mexican caves, anything they find in a cave is the government owns it.
So the cartels own it.
The cartel owns it, and then they get to So anyway, it goes into museums and stuff if you do find something.
Museums.
I found bones like a lot, especially from animals. Like I found an entire horse basically in bones. I guess this horse fell in the hole and drowned, and who knows how many years ago. So you go down there and it's like a full skeleton of a horse.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I feel bad for the horse. That's kind of fucking cool, though.
Yeah, there was a discovery in one of these Mexican caves a few years ago where they found the body of a girl right next to like a saber-tooth or a saber-toothed tiger right next to like an ancient, like it was literally the cast of Ice Age. It was like a giant sloth with a saber-toothed tiger with a mammoth, like woolly mammoth, and a girl, like the body's like in the same place inside of a cave. It was unbelievable. Yeah, you can look this up. This is all legit.
So they didn't.
Yeah.
They all fell and they started working together. So they didn't eat the girl. I guess. So like, well, we all got to get out.
I don't know, but they found
They found her intact.
Yeah, I feel like her name is like Lucy or something like that. They even named the girl.
Here it is. Girl skeleton found. Girl skeleton found in cave sheds light on origins of first Americans. Oh, this is interesting. Michael was talking about some stuff the other day. I wonder if this was. We had Michael Button in here, who's an ancient civs expert, and he was talking about the history of humans in the Americas, and he was going through different things we found that can date it. I wonder if this was also one of those things. DNA recovered from 12,000-year-old skeleton helps to dispel claims that first Americans came from Australia, Asia, or Europe. The remains of a small, delicate teenage girl who fell to her death in an underground cave system in Mexico 12,000 years ago have thrown fresh light on the origins of the first Americans. Cave divers chanced upon the girl's skeleton along with the bones of saber-toothed cats, giant ground sloths, and cave bears in a vast water-filled cavern they discovered while exploring a submerged network of tunnels reached from a sinkhole in the Yucatan jungle.
It's awesome.
Research, it is pretty
Dude, imagine
cool.
going down there in a cave and finding like a saber-toothed tiger's entire skeleton. It would be insane.
I might go to the cartel and try to sell that.
Exactly.
Researchers believe the girl, whom they have named Naya, died after breaking her pelvis when she fell into the cave, which would have been dry at the time, apart from a small occasional pool at the bottom. Like the animals around her, she may have met her death after venturing into the cave system to look for drinking water. It's a tough way to go. Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.